My wife is cheating on me. My wife is cheating and she has been for the past 2 months. I just don't understand. I don't even know where to start to begin to understand. We have a beautiful home, stable careers, we're not financially struggling, no drug or alcohol abuse, we attend therapy together. Our daughter is healthy, perfect. Our 6-year wedding anniversary is 3 months from tomorrow. We've been together 11 years. I have spent the last 2 days examining everything about us under a microscope, trying to find a crack. Where I went wrong, when did she become unhappy, when did this life, our life, become unsatisfactory for her? For her to step outside of our marriage with some random guy she met on Facebook? For her to throw our family away? I just don't understand. I found out on Monday, completely by chance. My daughter's tablet was dead. I grabbed my wife's iPad so she could watch her nighttime videos and go to sleep. Wife isn't home right now, she's on a trip and won't be back for another 4 days. I keep hearing message notifications dinging on her iPad while my daughter has it, so I took it to turn it on silent only to see a man's name I didn't recognize with a little winky face next to it. I went through everything. They've done it all, met up, spent the night together, went on dates, they even have a romantic cruise planned for next month. The same cruise she told me was a bachelorette trip with one of her friends. All of these outings that I encouraged. She told me they were with friends, I encouraged her. I was so proud she was getting out there and becoming more social, since she expressed motherhood made her feel like a recluse. And after digging a little deeper, all of these new friends she's been out with don't even exist. All lies. They are characters she's created to continue her relationship with this man. I feel like a complete and total idiot. I never second-guessed a lie she fed me. I gave her my 100% trust. We've been doing couples therapy for a year, we communicate, we go on dates, we get each other gifts, our sex life was great, I never not even for a second would have suspected this. I don't know how to confront her with this, I don't want this. I don't want to split up our home. But I know that this isn't something therapy can fix. I know myself well enough to know I'll never be able to trust her again. Do I just let go? Let her go be with this man who clearly makes her happier than I can? My entire existence is intertwined with her, how do I even begin to untangle that and separate? I have 4 more days to sit and overthink this. I genuinely don't know what to do. Story 2. My sister has been cheating on her husband for a few months now. I feel guilty for keeping it secret and covering for her. My sister, 31, and I, 25, grew up really close. We were always there for each, always protected each, kept each other's secret. We always had each other's backs no matter what. At 21, she got pregnant with her boyfriend of 2 months, and her whole life plans changed. She chose to keep the baby and dropped out of university to start work a full-time job. My mom and I were there to support her. I babysat for her while our mom helped with the finances until she can get to her feet. At first she wanted to do this alone with us, but her boyfriend wanted to go with it with her and we let her. Eventually, she settled with her boyfriend, got married and had 3 more kids. I was there when their family came together. I love my nieces and nephew as they are the only kids I could have. I can't get pregnant. I know my sister wants to grow up in a full loving family. My dad was abusive and strict. Like I mentioned, we are open with each other. At one point she shared about the what-ifs in her life. Like, what if she did not settle with her husband? What if she raised her first child alone and continued college while she can? She only had 1 year left to graduate when she got pregnant. Recently, my sister confessed that she was sleeping with someone she met in the gym. She said she was just lonely and was not satisfied sexually with her husband. They don't have sex anymore at all, and it seems like a mutual choice. I told her that it could phase. That maybe life has become repetitive and she is just looking for something new. I told her to try something new. Like go on trip or learn a language. Anything that could take her away from sleeping with the guy, but she told me there's a different thrill in sneaking. She told me she didn't love the guy she's seeing and that she just liked the sex. She said she has no plans of ever leaving her family or her husband. She also told me this will be just for a short time. I kept silent and left it at that. I didn't want to say anything as it will definitely hurt her husband and eventually hurt the kids. She used me as alibi to see the guy. There was a time where she almost got caught when her husband saw my husband's IG story of us being out on a date when she was supposed to be out shopping with me. I caught on what was happening and told him that she was just on a different shop and that we will be meeting soon. Her husband bought it and left it at that. I covered for her. I felt so guilty. I'm in between doing the right thing and helping my sister keep her family intact. Her kids adore her so much and her husband still has no idea. After that incident, it's evident my husband also knows now what's going on. He says that I shouldn't condone her infidelity. That if someone was being cheated on, they would want to know. That this will be different if this was on reverse. I completely understand him. He also understands why I feel conflicted, as this will definitely destroy the kids once everything unfolds. Story 3. She's still here, but who I love isn't. I caught my fiancé, 5-year relationship, cheating. She didn't admit to it and lied to my face repeatedly until caught. Unfortunately, we own a house with both of us on a deed, just me on the mortgage. We haven't been here long, not much equity, so I'm in the process of forcing a buyout. But I need time to get money together. Also, she needs time to pack, find somewhere to go and move out. She's giving me everything I want in this right now, so I don't want to force her out immediately, because how smooth this goes does depend on her goodwill, and while seeing each other is so hard, I do not want her to experience housing insecurity. I also couldn't force her out if I wanted to while I haven't bought her off the deed. I know many will tell me to be angry, but I'm not. I'm sad. I love her but don't trust her, so I can't continue the relationship. I know I shouldn't still love her, but right now I do. So we are looking at a couple weeks of living together. While I get the paperwork with a lawyer, quit claim and separation of assets to formalize the goodwill while it's there, and money together, and she figures out where she's going. We are in separate bedrooms. This is hard, and it's been only a little over a day. It's like being haunted. It's so tempting to lean into the warmth we had. Our backgrounds gave us so much to talk about Eve never found with anyone else, and our intimacy physically and just in closeness was amazing. I told friends and family what happened so I can feel social pressure to stick to my decision to separate. It was too easy for her to lie. She was so comfortable in it, I could never trust her again. She had a rough childhood, and every relationship she's ever seen in her family is a wreck. I genuinely think she needs therapy, she knows it. I want her to get it, and I hope it helps. I hope she can have a healthy relationship in the future, and I hope it leads to the family life she wants. I still wish it could be with me, even though I shouldn't, and she's hurt me so bad. The next few weeks of being together will be so hard. So tempting to slide into that familiarity and closeness. At times every cell in my body pulls me to forgive her, set boundaries, go to therapy and try to get back to how happy we were, how happy I was. I don't want to be done, but if she's capable of lying to my face it'll never be that way again. I'm in love with someone who doesn't fully exist. Well, part of her doesn't, the part one trusted unconditionally. But the beauty, humor, and intelligence I loved are still here haunting me in the house. Story 4. I, 34M, discovered my so, 31F, cheated on me. My so and I have been together for 15 years, married for 6 of those years. We share a son who will be 3 this September. Our entire relationship we both were heavily against the idea of being intimate with anyone else but each other. I was cheated on by an ex and her eldest sister was a notorious cheater. Throughout our relationship she would tell me things like "you'll die before you try to leave me" and accusing me of flirting with other people. I always placed that stuff in a category as a joke, even though it slightly bothered me deep inside. Last year was hard for us. We were new parents with a 1-year-old. My mental health medication wasn't as effective as it was the year prior. I've had depression, anxiety, and bipolar 2 since I was a small child. This medication affects my sexual drive severely, and I have a low sex drive to begin with, unfortunately. My wife has an extremely high sex drive. She literally wants it all the time. She is constantly reading graphic fan fiction, hentai mangas, adult-themed mobile games, etc. I don't shame her. A desire for sex is normal. But back to the main point. She was working from home and I was the full-time parent and housekeeper. I had to leave my job due to a severe mental health crisis just months before the little one was born. During this year I would catch her sending nudes to a handful of guys on a couple of occasions. It hit me hard and I wanted to leave there on the spot, but she begged me to stay. Begged me to try and fix things. So I did. The year had its ups and downs between us, couples therapy and all that. By December we both were on the same page. We agreed to help each other give one another their needs. I explained what I was going to do, get my medication looked at and changed, see what options are there to help increase my sex drive and such. She agreed to stop reaching out to others for her quick fix. I saw a psychologist before the Christmas break and they planned out a year process of switching my meds. The meds I was on is a highly addictive antidepressant and I was on such a high dosage that it was going to be a long process to wean me off of them. During the Christmas break my mother was put into the hospital and was in a coma. I live in BC and she lives in Ontario, so it was impossible for me to see her during this time. My brother would give me weekly updates on her condition. She ended up passing in mid-January. It hit me hard and I still haven't processed it to this day properly. Around that time I was forward with her that I need some time to work through everything and get past the fact my mother passed away, and when I think of her in a sexual way, I see her sexting these guys. Fast forward to yesterday, I see on a NSFW Twitter account she has that she posted herself having sex with some other guy. It was posted 4 days prior to me finding it. I asked her about it and she beat around the bush, avoided my questions. I asked when it happened 4 times before I got an answer of "I don't know," in the last month. She blamed me for not wanting to have sex with her and she blamed our son for changing things between us. She blamed that I didn't listen to her needs, but I explained that she didn't listen to my request. I told her that I can't be the only one committing to change and that there needs to be a compromise. I grabbed my wallet, keys and phone. Kissed my son while he was sleeping and left. I immediately texted my only friend out here in BC to see if I could crash at his place. I turned my phone as soon as I got there. Now it's the next morning and I have to go back to our place so I can take my medications and be with my son. I'm at this point where I'm angry at her and myself. I feel like a horrible husband and father. I'm upset and confused. I don't know if I could look past this and stay with her, but I love her so much and don't want to leave. So I guess I'm asking for on what should I do next. Should I try and see if it's salvageable, or should I just put my hands up and deal with the heartbreak? I have no choice but to interact with her and I don't know how to approach it. I want to be civil and calm.